In Genesis 7 verse 4 God declared, "I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made." Thus, it rained for 40 days and nights, flooding the entire earth. Now, if every living creature were extinguished, were the fishes included? They would survive a flood, you know. Or would they? There are fresh and saltwater fishes. Rain is fresh water and sea is salty. Mixing the two would be fatal to either species. So, did Moses also include the fishes into his ark? There's a very popular notion that in Noah's time only 2 pairs of each kind of animal were to be brought into his ark, Genesis 6 verse 20. All movies and literature outside of the Bible portrays this scene. But guess what, there also appears in a different verse, Genesis 7 verses 2 to 3, that not only 2 but 7 pairs were to be brought into the same ark. So, what is it? 2, or 7, or both? So the story goes that on D-Day of the Great Flood, Genesis 7 verse 11 describes that all the fountains of the great deep were broken up and the windows of heaven were opened. The flood lasted for approximately 1 year. When the waters receded, the ark rested on the mountains of Ararat and all the animal inhabitants were released to replenish the earth. Easily said than done. All plants and living creatures on the planet were destroyed by the flood. It was an apocalyptic wasteland. No food, nothing at the time. It would take time for the seasons to recuperate and bring nourishment to the land. How did the animals or even Noah's family survive? Let's talk about the structural integrity of Noah's Ark. In Genesis 6 verses 14 to 16 it is approximately 134 meters long, 22 meters wide, and 13 meters tall. It was entirely made of cypress wood and pitch used to coat inside and out. The size in comparison with present standards would be a small cargo ship. The question: would it have survived the storm and the rough seas at the time? The ark would need to endure the rapid crest and trough of the waves. The strain would be too strong for any wooden vessel and ultimately break in two. Such was the cause of one modern steel ship breaking in half in recent times. Genesis 7 verses 19 to 20, it states, "And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward, or roughly 23 feet, did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered." So, during the great flood no dry land were spared, but after the rains and another 150 days, Genesis 7 verse 24, the waters gradually receded until Noah's ark rested on the mountains of Ararat, Genesis 8 verse 4. So, if the water had receded, where did this water go? Where would you contain the excess water that previously covered every mountain and islands of the planet?